What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being. And today, guys, I'm finally taking you through what my current bench setup looks like, as well as showing you what day 2 of my current mesocycle looks like, which is my bench-focused upper body intensity day. Now, you guys just saw in the previous clips pretty much that first clip was from 2 weeks before my last meet in 2017 back in August, and then the second clip was 2 weeks before my most recent meet back in June. So same weight, and you guys could see the clear difference between how they both moved. Now in this first clip right here, I'm pretty much just showing you guys, emphasizing once again, you know, what my old setup looked like versus my current setup, and I'm going to be going over the specific differences individually one at a time. But the main thing, guys, that has really changed with my bench press since working with Brendan the past few months is stability. That is probably the biggest thing that has benefited me, and that's come from more than just like, you know, widening my grip or emphasizing my arch, but it's really come from the standpoint of focusing on scapular retraction and depression. For the longest time, guys, I actually only benched flat back. That's it. And then even when I did learn to retract my scapula, that's all I did. I wouldn't retract and depress. But since working with Brendan, I've worked on both retraction and depression, and that's what's made the biggest difference in my bench press as far as overall stability. And it's what allowed me to PR at this last meet, when at my last 2 meets, I couldn't even get past my 315 opener. Before that, in 2016, my best was 341. And then I finally beat that with 347 at this most recent meet after like 2 meets of not getting past 315. So right here, I'm just showing you guys what my old grip used to be. Pretty much my pinky finger was right outside of the ring, and I would pretty much just try to, like, you know, wrap my fingers around it. I wasn't really focused on anything other than, you know, just trying to grip the bar tightly. But what you're going to see now is I'm actually middle finger on the ring. Now this switch is recent. I actually was ring finger on the ring at my most recent meet, but the concept's still the same of what I'm doing. You guys can see that I'm really trying to wedge the bar low into my palms. I'm actually internally rotating my shoulders in order to do so. Now, even though I'm not going to stay internally rotated, the point is I'm really trying to get as low into my palms so I can truly stack that joint correctly. Now right here, I'm just showing you guys what my bench, you know, setup looked like with the old grip. So this is like, you know, the old grip, pinky right outside the ring, just retracting my scapula. And now I'm showing you the new grip and the new setup. So once again, I'm wedging that bar as low into my palms as I can to really stack the joint so I can get much better force transfer. And then right here, I'm setting up, and it looks like I'm trying to emphasize the arch, but what I'm really doing is just really focusing on retracting and depressing as hard as I can. And once I do that, I get my feet and my butt into position, and then I'm good to go. Focusing on leading the bar with my elbows, so keep my elbows in front of the bar the whole time. And once again, my bench is just a lot more stable this way. And you guys are going to notice like the huge difference I'm showing you right here. Boom, this is just retraction. This is what I used to do, nothing but retraction. And then after working with Brendan, I really started focusing on retracting and depressing, and that's what that mobility video of what I do before I bench press, a lot of the mobility work that I'm doing is to help me emphasize retraction and depression. And right here, once again, that's just retraction, and here, retraction and depression. Not only does it emphasize my chest out, which yes, increases the arch and cuts the range of motion down a little bit, but like I said, the main thing is stability. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about, apart from just like seeing what my overall bench setup looks like, is the importance of understanding. It doesn't matter if you're a power lifter or not. It doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder. If you're bench pressing, you need to have some type of arch. Some type of arch will be there by default if you're properly retracting and depressing. That's a common question and a common misconception that, oh, well, only powerlifters need to arch because they're trying to cut down the range of motion. No, in order to protect your shoulders and get the most stability for your bench, you're going to want to make sure you're retracting and depressing your scapula. Now, as far as how wide your grip goes, I've mentioned this in bench videos before. In the description down below, guys, I'll have my, you know, my current squat setup video, my current deadlift setup video, and then just other videos that I've done related to the bench press that will answer questions that I'm sure you guys will have, like, okay, well, is a longer range of motion better for hypertrophy, etc. Generally speaking, yes, like a closer grip is gonna be a longer range of motion, produce more total hypertrophy. However, there's such thing as being too close, right? We don't want too much pressure on the wrist, just like there's such thing as being too wide. Now, generally speaking, if you're someone like me where you have longer like arms and longer limbs compared to your torso, you're probably gonna need to ease out to a slightly wider grip. Like I said, for the longest, I was pinky outside the ring, and before that, I was even closer than that. And that helped me build up a lot of strength in the muscles involved through training through a longer range of motion, along with doing accessory work like pull-ups, dips, etc. Things just to strengthen my back and my chest, which are the muscles involved in the bench press. But that's when I hit that wall. I got to a point where, because my arms were so long for my torso, even if I would be explosive off the chest, I would get to the sticking point where I just couldn't drive through. And it wasn't due to a lack of tricep strength or strength off the chest, so much as it was due to not having enough stability to drive through. So widening my grip helped me. Now, if you're someone where you have shorter arms relative to your frame, you may not have to go quite as wide, but how wide or close you are is about finding what's comfortable. It's okay to move your hands out, play with it for a couple of months at least. You got to spend some time with the grip to see what feels comfortable for you. But for those of you not focused on powerlifting, I suggest you focus on simply, okay, where can I put my hand placement that feels comfortable for me to travel through a nice proper range of motion. Now, for those of you who are powerlifters, a lot of you may be wondering, well, as a powerlifter, if I'm trying to cut down the range of motion so I can lift more weight, does that mean I need to be trying to focus on really emphasizing my arch? Do I need max grip width all the time? And you guys can see right here, my arch really isn't that much more emphasized compared to how I used to be. Yes, it's more there, but I don't have an extreme arch. The reality is, guys, not everyone is going to be stronger with max arch. Not everyone's going to be stronger with max grip width, because one, that can put a lot of strain on the shoulders, and just due to genetics, some people can arch more than others. If you're not able to arch enough to compensate for the amount of strain that's going to be on your shoulders from having such a max width grip, you may not want to do that. As well as the fact that even though, yes, you're getting more stability from a wider grip potentially, because it's a lot easier to set up as far as scapular retraction depression, you're also having to keep in mind that you're going to be giving up some driving force, some power. Me, I press hard. When I press off my chest, I press hard, especially with my serratus anterior. So due to that, it's the fact that for me, even though I may eventually go max grip width, because right now I'm just one finger away from that, I'll probably ease into that eventually, I'm probably never going to be someone that's just trying to focus on just getting the max arch that they can, because the lack of power and drive that I would get due to the way that I press naturally probably just wouldn't be worth the stability that I get or cutting that range of motion. So that's something to think about too, and a lot of it is just trial and error and playing with it. But yeah, you guys saw me work up, to my top set for this day. You saw me do my first and last back down set of t-shirt pause bench press, which is essentially almost like a spoto press, but you actually do touch your chest just very, very softly. And then right here, you guys are about to see me just do a touch and go AMRAP that I have to do after I do my 3 back down sets. I have just a touch and go AMRAP with the same weight, and I believe I got about 5 reps. But just notice how I'm even with touch and go reps, I'm so much more stable, leading the bar with my elbows, really emphasizing that retraction depression throughout the entire movement. And that's what you really want to focus on when you're bench pressing. And that's pretty much my focus with my current setup, guys. Once I'm in that nice tight position, it's maintaining that tension and tightness with my scapula until the bar's all the way down to my chest below the nipple line, and then I press up hard and explosively. And then after this, guys, I'm just pretty much showing you what my accessory work is for this day. So I have barbell overhead press, which it actually feels really good to have these again, because I haven't had these since I think the first or second month when I trained with Brendan, just because we don't really focus on the barbell overhead press a lot during prep, due to the fact that it's pretty much going to take away from the bench press, whereas a single arm dumbbell shoulder press isn't anywhere near as fatiguing, and we can still kind of get the same benefits. Then I have a row of choice. Now usually I like to do seal rows. On this day I was in a hurry, so I didn't really have time to set the bench up with the plates under it, so I just did incline dumbbell rows instead. Simply 4 sets of 8. I want to say it's either RP7 or RP8, but it'll be on screen as far as what it's supposed to be. But once again, what I'm focusing on with these back movements, whether I'm doing a row or a pull down, is making sure that I get that full stretch on my lats, fully protracting, and then focusing on the retraction with the concentric part of the motion, or the depression with something like a lat pull down. And doing this has had excellent carryover to my bench. Yes, these are still back movements. I'm focused on the back development, but I'm thinking of them as, okay, this is an accessory for my bench press, so I want to make sure I'm maintaining that scapular control when it comes to retraction, depression, protraction, etc. And it's just been really good once again for my overall stability, which is the main thing that has changed and helped me drastically with my bench press. Now right here, you guys can see that I'm just clearly doing some rear delt cable flies, and I love this variation, guys. Honestly, whatever variation you choose is fine, whether it's standing rear delt flies, incline dumbbell rear delt flies, but I just find this to be the best because it just lets me feel it the best personally. Now I don't just come arms straight out to the side, but you guys see that I'm coming out and down, and that's just because it allows me to get a better feel in my rear delts, which is obviously what I'm targeting. And after that, guys, I just finished a little bit of, that bro work, that fluff and pump. Just, 3 sets of 12 dumbbell curls, 3 sets of 12 each arm. And that's pretty much what this day looks like, guys. So I hope I made everything clear. Hope I was able to properly explain what my current bench setup is like and why, and hope you guys can see the benefits of the differences when it comes to just overall stability, playing with your grip, and just finding what's going to be the most optimal way for you to work the movement. But yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you did. If you did not, leave a comment down below. Let me know what I can do to get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch y'all later.